you were not born in Japan, is usually the response I get when answering the question, so where were you born? Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about where I was born, the disbelief of the members of my hometown about where I was born, and how even after I was at my first duty station, which was where I was born, I was still being questioned by the Air Force. So let me start with telling you a little bit about where I was actually born. I was born on a little island just south of mainland Japan called Okinawa. My parents were Marines, and that was their first duty station. It's also where they met, got married, and had their first daughter, me. After a while, my parents eventually got over their wedded bliss and just called it quits. That was when we moved to little old Benton Harbor, Michigan, my stepfather's old stomping grounds. Most people that live in Benton Harbor were born and raised there and never ventured too far from the state. Obviously, when I first got there, we were asked where we were from and later on asked where we were born. It wasn't until I got in high school that I was questioned about my U.S. citizenship because I was born outside of the U.S. Apparently, the United States Air Force was under the same impression. The Air Force was kind of confused as to how I could be a U.S. citizen even though I was born outside of the U.S. I explained to my recruiter that the top of my birth certificate actually says born to U.S. citizens overseas or in U.S. territory. Somehow those lines of communication got crossed when I got to my first duty station. My first duty station was that same little island I was born on almost 20 years ago. Upon arriving to the island, I had to go over to my military personnel section and actually explain to them how I am a U.S. citizen even though my place of birth is Okinawa, Japan. I am a U.S. citizen, I swear. Ultimately, I've pleaded my U.S. citizenship case pretty much my entire life. It all started with where I was born, the disbelief of the members of my hometown about where I was born, and even having to provide evidence to the United States Air Force all the way from recruiter to first duty station. I hope I've given you something to take with you and remember me by. I am a U.S. citizen, I swear.